Kittens and puppies, what's up, Brooklanders? I saw the movie Friendship. I have some things to say about the movie, about the state of comedy in general, because we are in a interesting place. Friendship is a comedy-esque type film starring Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd and Kate Mara. The film I enjoyed at the end of the day. It was pretty good. Some good laughs for sure. Tim Robinson just being crazy. Paul Rudd, pretty funny in this movie. Good movie. I would say I'd recommend it. I'd say go watch it. But it is interesting because this film is not a comedy in your traditional sense, in like a Kevin Hart, Will Ferrell kind of comedy, Jack Black kind of comedy. Not like one of those films. This is not a family-friendly film. It's not even like a film that I would say, everyone would like all adults, bring your mom or your parents. There's a good chance they might not like this movie because it is a comedy for sure, but it's almost like a drama at times too. It's almost like, it's just like a surreal drama thriller at some points, comedy. It's really weird. It's like, think of like A24 comedy. Whatever you're thinking when I say that, that's kind of like what it is. Not saying that's bad, not saying it's bad by any means. If anything, it is creative, it is unique, it does stand out tonally from other comedies, but that's kind of the interesting part. It's not bad or anything like that. It's just interesting to me because I feel like we are at a point where comedy is, it's in the pooper. Let's be honest, guys. It's not in a good spot. Comedy is the little ugly duckling of the film genre world right now. It's just where we're at. Rom-coms are interesting because rom-coms, every once in a while, like the blood moon rising up in Zelda, a rom-com will do good in the theaters, will do good, people are talking about it. Oh, have you seen this? I heard it's pretty good. The last one in recent memory was Anyone But You, starring Glenn Powell, Sydney Sweeney. I thought this film was pretty good. I enjoyed it as far as rom-coms go, and that's a very traditional rom-com, right? Very traditional. They've been making films like that since, forever. And of course, there is this world where rom-coms get this life on streaming services because, it hits Amazon Prime and your mom's scrolling and she sees, oh, new rom-com, let me check that out. And then she watches it. What'd you think? Oh, it was cute. Even a film like Hitman, also starring Glenn Powell, a movie that I really liked, that is a rom-com, I would say, at the end of the day, but it's more, mystery and action. There is some tension, some moments of higher tension in that film. They have to be unique. Anyone But You was a weird situation. I think it just did really good because of the marketing between, obviously, Glenn Powell, Sydney Sweeney, those two people. Very, relevant, I would say. Just the talk about it, what was going on behind the scenes. And then it just caught, the social fire and everyone started talking about it, went off to the races. Wow, dude, what does this have to do with Friendship, the movie? Friendship, the movie, unique in the sense that it is not a rom-com, right? It is just a straight comedy. And dude, straight comedy films, those are rare, dude. That's like a shiny Mewtwo, man. It's like, wow, we don't even see that anymore. And even then, to get a film like that, people aren't even talking about this film. It's kind of, fall underneath the radar. To get a film like that to be made, even now, it has to be under the guise of this A24, under the direction of it's going to be a little more surreal. The shot design is going to be more thought out. There's going to be, an actual, film score here. The acting is going to be, a little better at some points. It's weird. And that's tough because then you fall into the situation where you kind of, restrict how universal this film's appeal is going to be. Because like I said, when you risk trying to be different, you risk, being too different, and then people don't want to see you. I could see people, if this was a more traditional, buddy film, people might not see it in theaters, but they're more likely to watch it on streaming. And in the pursuit of being more unique, more, grounded and serious in some aspects here and there, just a little weirder, you do hurt your chances of, some of those people watching it on streaming. It's interesting. And at the end of the day, it all comes down to what the studio and the director feels comfortable doing. And I think A24 is comfortable making that risk in making this film a little more unique at the risk of it not being, maybe as, marketable or, appealing to the mass audiences. They're comfortable with that. A lot of studios aren't. And to that, I give A24 credit. I give A24 a lot of credit. Interesting, dude. I really enjoy comedy films. I want to see comedy films more in theaters. And theaters, struggling enough as is. Everyone's saying, go to the theaters, go see movies, go see comedy films, dude. They're a good time. It's a good vibe. Go see it with your friends. Have a laugh. and you won't regret it. Thanks so much for watching. That's the video. Thanks for being here on Earth, man. I appreciate you. Man, what a good time to be alive. You know, praise the Lord. Hit subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.